Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this huge crepe paper rose. It's very easy to make. I'm going to show you how to make your own pattern so that way you can create whatever size you like, from small to large to huge, which is what I'm going to try and make next. Alright, so to get started, you will be needing some crepe paper. Oops, let's see. I'm backwards here, so bear with me. This I got at my local craft store. This one was from AC Moore's. Otherwise, you can find other sources for it. I have dark pink, light pink, and a green. We'll also be needing some floral tape. It's not sticky until you actually sit and pull on it. Okay, and we also have, I have here fabric covered floral wire. You don't have to use this if you're going to make a huge flower. It's recommended you use a dowel, so that way the weight of the flower won't bend your wire. And we're going to be using crafting scissors. This is my wire snip. And here I have regular paper. Let me just see if I can add some more light. Okay, I hope that helps a little bit. Now I can give you instructions on size and whatnot and how to do this, but this is a standard paper from the printer, whatever. What we're going to be needing is one moment. Take a regular standard size paper and fold it in half. Going to take a scissor and we're going to create a heart shape. Now I want to make a big flower, so we're just going to take and just like you did in preschool, you're going to make as much as you can here a heart shape. Might adjust it a little bit, but it's half of a teardrop almost. This is going to be our petals. Alright, now we're going to also be needing 5 smaller. We're going to be creating 15 of these. Alright, and we're going to need 5 smaller petals. So to do this one, I'm just gonna eyeball it and say from center, from here to here, center of this peak, center of this peak, I'm gonna fold it. Now this is, that way is, so you don't have to be worried about what is what. Okay, and you can create whatever size you want using these proportions basically. So you see it's like from the center of the arch of the heart to the center here. I'm going to eliminate the side that is smaller. Now for this here, as you can see, I'm going to fold this in half as well. Now mind you, we're just creating a pattern. What I do want to do is make sure that I'm even up here and that I come to the point down here. So here I am at the bottom. Let me see if we can get it to fit this way so you can see better. So I'm at the top here, and I'm gonna come to here, all right? So we're gonna start creating again, just like a regular teardrop here. See, I didn't round off on this side because I do just want like a teardrop. This will be 5. These will be 15. These will be 5. Now, I like myself to create a center for my flowers. Like this one, it really doesn't have such a big deal of a center. I'll show you how to make this one too, because this one is a different version, but I'm showing you different sizes. So this one here just has a rolled up center. The large one that I'll be making, I kind of created like a bud rolled up in the center. I've also seen that center being created as a tulip. So most likely I'll be using scraps this wide, about 4. And then what I'll be doing is I'll be taking this one, twisting it in the middle and folding it over, giving me that round little bud. Alright, so I'm gonna set up again with my other materials and we'll get started. Hi guys, I'm back. Instead of using my floral wire or using a dowel, I'm going to use a hanger, a wire hanger. I don't really want to be using the floral wire because I don't have the right gauge, and I don't want to just buy the wire for just one flower, which I'll be making. So as you can see here, I'm just taking this nipper here, and I'm just gonna work it back and forth and just snap it. It's very easy, especially this wire is very thin, but I'm guessing it'll be just the right amount for what I want. Do be careful with your eyes. This can pop into your eye if you're not doing it the right way. Now, I'm just going to take a little wire. I'll need a nose plier and just straighten this out. I'm not quite sure how much I will be needing of this, being I don't know how big my flower is going to come out, so I'd say this is about 36 inches what I'm going to use. I'm not going to use the other end here. I really don't want it so big. Now these flowers can be used to decorate a kid's room. If you have a waiting room, if you're like in a business and you just want to put something that you don't have to keep watering all the time, just create a little fantasy area. I've seen it used for weddings where the bridesmaids and the bride use these huge bouquets instead of natural flowers. Now to make this a little thicker, I have some tissue paper here. I'm just gonna put around it just because I would like for it to have a little body. And I'm going to take this with my floral tape and I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm going to do this off camera, but the whole amount of it, but I'll show you how you can start. Like I said, this floral tape is not sticky. It gets sticky only when you start to pull on it and it'll stick to itself. So I'm pulling on it as I'm turning. As you can see, I'm putting enough pressure on the tape where the bulk As you can see, the bulk of the tissue paper is coming out just the perfect size, the way I wanted it. All right, I'm going to continue to do this, and we'll be back in a second. So you don't have to sit here and watch me twisting this. All right. Okay guys, now I'm back to show you how I'm going to finish it off. You can see that I'm almost done. Now it so happens that my tissue paper was just the right size for this wire. So as I'm twisting, I'm pulling on here, making sure that it sticks upon itself. Now I'll just finish covering the white by simply spinning. There you have it. I'm just turning it a little bit. I'm not worried if a little bit of my tissue paper shows up, because I will be coming back later on to make some leaves, and I'll be rewiring this. Rewrapping it. So I think this stem looks amazing, and it gives me the flexibility that I want without having it to be so stiff. All right, now for today's demonstration, I'm going to be using my dark pink. People sometimes want to use the dark in the center and the lighter on the outside. I'm not worried about it. Now I want you to realize this has a grain, okay? I want you to use the grain going down on your flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting across. The whole entire crepe paper roll. Now what I want to do is open this whole thing up. I'm going to try and get as many, cut out as many petals as I can in one shot. So let me see, because we're going to be doing alternating. So let me guesstimate what we're going to be doing here. So it's one, and then I'm going to come here and do two. Here, I'm going to do like three. And we're going to do like 5. So you'll get the idea. I'm just trying to see how many I can get in 2 layers, so I don't have to be cutting so much. 2 or 3 layers. So I'm kind of looking at this, the creases on here. So it looks like 2 folds on here is 1 petal. So let's see if I can get it into thirds, and that way I only have to cut out maybe 5 petals at a time. It is big, so you will need room. So let's see, this is 1 flower, 2 flower, 3 flower, 4 flower. Let's see. I'm doing this live for you only because I don't like demonstrations when people start to show you stuff and then walk away, and then you're like, what did they do in between? I want you to see it's not hard at all. I'm just figuring out how I'm going to fold this so I can get my petals cut out using the most that I can. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to just leave it like this. I folded it double, and then I folded it in half, and then I folded it in half again. So what I like to do personally is, so here I'll be getting 4 petals at a time. Don't go crazy about what you're gonna measure or anything. Just have fun. So I'm holding it down with my hand. You could use a pin if you want to. And now I'm going to just rotate this and continue cutting. If you're off, it doesn't matter, because these petals are going to be intertwining with one another, and you'll be just fine. Just don't cut your pattern. Now here I'm at the side, so I'm just going to go in between and snip this side so that way they're not close together. So here we have 4 petals, and we're going to be making 15. Let me just go here and separate this one. Okay, they're all separated. That's 4. Now for the next one, I want you to take the pattern and flip it around, and I'll show you why. Okay, you don't want to have the next petals going here like this, because then all of this will be wasted. You want to use as much as you can of your paper. So instead of doing like that, we're going to flip it over. I'm going to bring it over as far as you can. You want to be able to use the most of your paper as possible. So I'm going to do that. Pick it up again and rotate it. Again, like I said, you can put pins in here. It doesn't matter. Even when I sew, I try not to use pins. Oops, I lost a sheet here. Here's another 4. Now for the next one, I have 8 petals. We're going to flip it around again. Remembering to come over to the edges. You don't want to waste any of this, so you can get the biggest flower you can with the most petals. Now these petals, you can make them as large or as small as you like, using the exact same technique. I will be showing you how to cut the leaves and the calyx later when I come to the green. Again, it'll be as easy as the rest of the project we're doing. So those are 12. And now here we're going to have this piece here, the end piece, which we're just opening it up. We're going to take our petal. It doesn't fit there, so that's fine. What we can do is we can cut out some of this. And we'll go back and use the rest of our tissue paper that we have left over. All right, now let me count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. We need 3 more. So let's see if we can do that by merely taking some more of the paper. So I think I said it was double folds. Perfect. So what I'll do is I'll do 3 folds, cut that, it's just that easy. So I'll take this one, fold it in half. Nope, I won't fold it in half. I'm going to do this. Going to go on here. Now you can cut these templates out of any cardstock, cardboard, if you're going to be making a lot. When I make the little roses, I've been told by viewers that they're so thrilled that they're able to learn how to make paper roses because of the fact that they have grandparents, family members that are in hospitals, nursing homes or whatnot, that they cannot have real flowers due to allergies and whatnot with the other patients. So basically, let me see something. Okay. So basically what they said is this is the best way that they can bring floral bouquets to their family members without it impeding with any of the rules. And also, they get to keep it for a long time. They don't die off on you. And it's more special when it's handmade by somebody that you love. Alright, so here what I did was I folded it 3 layers because I already previously cut 2. So now I'm going to just randomly come and cut these here for you. I'm not being particular, this is just the basic shape that I care about. It'll work out beautifully no matter what. Okay, so this is the only waste we had. Literally, this is it. Then we have the rest here. Now for this here, like I had mentioned before, I like to create a tighter bud in the middle, and I'll show you how I created that one. I'm just going to clean these little edges off here. I guess I could use the width of one fold. I'm not being very particular. I think I'll do 4. Okay, so that takes care of all that cutting for right now. So now I'm going to get my floral wire that I've already covered. I'm going to use the end that has the skinny end of the wire there. What I like to do with this is I like to find the center, as you can see here. And what I want to do is bring it together, like if I was gonna make a bow, and just simply turn it and just twisting it. Then I'm gonna take it and bring the two ends together, giving me this look here. So this here, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna roll it into itself. Like that. I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to attach it to the wire right here. Like that. And I'm going to just take this one here, fold it over, and just all you want to do is just gather it up in the middle, whatever way you can, and just roll it over. Little glue there, and here you have what I like to consider the beginning of the rosebud. I do the same exact process with these other sheets. Find my centers. I'm just showing you the center completely without stopping and starting, because I want you to see how I create my centers. All right. So twist. Bring the ends together. This paper is very pliable. So now what you want to do is, keeping your petals all flush, which means even with each other, you're going to start coming in and folding around like that. Alright, so I'm going to stick a little glue on the bottom here. I'm going to start creasing this over. Just going to do 3 for the center. So it'll look like it's a tight bud closing up on the inside. I'm not getting crazy with the glue. Which reminds me, if you're using hot glue, it's always good to have a glass of ice water next to you in case you're not so careful and you do get glue on your hand. You can immediately dump it into the cold water and stop it from burning you. Again, I'm going to pull on it a little bit. Now what I want to do is I want to take and not put them like facing each other. You want to do like into thirds so that they overlap each other. Okay. Keeping it all flush with the first center petal. Repeating the same process. And bringing it right here. Oops, I got lost in here a little bit. Let me stick some glue in here. I don't know how that happened, but that's not a problem. Stick some glue in there. So now we're going to overlap the other one. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, and the one in the center. Now this is my way of doing it. If you don't want to do your centers like that, then you don't have to. I'm just adding extra glue, picking up any loose ends. Making sure it's nice and secure because everything is going to be based around our center here. For my purposes, I'm just going to take a little bit of floral tape. And I'm just going to wrap it. Oops, I broke it. Not a problem. Pull too hard. Now we're going to come in with our petals, which I forgot to get a pencil. Give me 1 second, please. Okie dokies. So now we're going to be creating our centers. What you're going to be doing is going to be rolling the center petal around. Just doing that, and then we're going to stretch it a little bit here in the center, cupping it a little bit, and we're going to do the edges. I'm going to do this for all 5 petals, and like I said before, I like to off-center my petals from the center one. So here you have the 2, so I'm going to try and center the highest point here, and we're going to be keeping our petals flush. This could be maybe a little bit lower, only because it is the center. And we're going to start gluing. On the bottom, like that. Just roll it. Not a lot, just enough to get it started. Pinch it on the side, roll it just a little bit. Open it up and start cupping the crepe paper here in the center. Now we're going to come and we're going to do thirds again, like this. I'm going to take it now and glue the bottom. Making sure that all your petals are flush. I'm going to continue doing this with all the rest of the petals, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how it looks. Okay guys, here I'm on my last petal. So what I did was, to keep it overlapping, is that I took and I tucked in my last petal in between the first. So that way they're all overlapping, and I'm going to glue that down. Make sure that we're all nice and glued all over. And there you can see that you have what would be a rosebud, center of a flower. You can make the rosebuds like this, and then you would add your calyx to the bottom. If you just want to have some rosebuds with a large rose. As you can see, this makes a gorgeous bouquet for any wedding, outdoor garden. Beautiful fantasy flowers. Now I'm going to show you how I create the heart petals. And I would recommend you do all of your prepping of your petals first, so that way you don't have to stop and start and stop. You can make all your petals, all 15 petals, what I'm going to show you now. Let me just organize a little here. It's 15 petals. What you're going to do your 15 petals is same process we did before. Now there are people who just like to take the petals and just roll the edge around like that. That works for people. Do all 15 like that, and you just have a soft little flip on the end. I like to crinkle it a little bit. It'll give it, to me, in my opinion, a little bit more support and hold it longer. And then of course I like to come around a little bit. And I come around the edge a little bit. Paper is really good like that. And now what you do is you're going to take the inside here and you're going to cup it. See that? You're going to create a little petal like this. You're going to do that to all 15. Then you're going to come and you're going to start placing it again. You can kind of figure so that you know that you're not going askew with the height and everything. Try and keep all your points at the same level. That way your flower looks realistic. So again, I'm going to come back. I'm going to glue my petals at the base, like you see. Like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these petals. I'm going to do what you saw me do on the first petal here. And then I'm just going to start doing overlapping. But I gotta get these done first and then I'll be right back. Hi guys, we're back. Like I said before, I was going away from the camera so I can take my heart-shaped petals that I've created and shape them. I've done all of these so far, minus one, just to make sure that you see it again. So basically what I do is, this is my grain, going from top to bottom. Take a round pencil, or if you have a round dowel, anything that's round. And as I mentioned before, I like to, instead of just taking my petal and just rolling it back like that, which is fine in itself, I like to give it a little bit more of definition. So I'll come in and I roll. I usually roll till I get to the bottom here of the heart, and I just scrunch it. And I'm only doing that because I want to give it more body. You'll see the difference in length. Alright. And I also like to come here on the side and just roll it over a little bit. That's my preference. You don't have to do that. So again, I'm rolling it back. Taking this corner here and just bringing it back. It doesn't matter how it looks, being that I'm going to open it. I'm stretching it and I'm arching it back with my thumbs under here, just giving a little definition. This paper you can stretch it. So again, I'm putting my fingers under my roll, pulling it open as I'm stretching with my thumbs, curving it. You can see my thumbs in here. That gives me a little bit more definition, and I think that looks a little bit better than just plain old rolling it. Now here, we're going to take it and we're going to flip it with the curls going down, and we're going to pull our crepe paper, stretching it. We're trying to create a little concave effect here to the petal. And here you see, this has been tucked in a little bit, and you get that little cupping effect. Now we're ready to go and start placing our petals. I'm using a hot glue gun. You could use whatever you have available to you. As I've said before, you always want to overlap your petals so that they're not all edge to edge. You want to go at least halfway down the center of the previous petal. So, like I said again before, so you get it even, try and keep your ends at the bottom even, and it'll work out fine. So let's get going. You might want to tack a little bit in between so your petals don't flop down and you have a little bit of shape going on there that doesn't just all flop over. And I like using the hot glue gun only because I can make them a little bit faster that way. And we're going to continue to overlap our petals. Here's my next one. Here's my former one. I'm going to take this petal and I'm going to just overlay it, making sure that I'm even on the bottom. And I'm going to start gluing those together on the bottom. You might be thinking again, why would anybody make such a huge rose? First of all, I love roses. I have a lot of rose videos on my channel, which I welcome you to go and watch. There's easy ones, there's ones that is more complicated, but as I said, I love roses, and you can see how lovely that's coming on. You could leave your rose at this stage right now, and like I said, you could have different stages of your roses. You could have the bud, as I've shown you before. You could have it at this point where it looks like a rose is opening, and if you're doing a wedding bouquet or something, you can add it together. It's beautiful. Now I will continue. Again, overlapping, making sure that we're good on the bottom, getting a look. I'm doing this sitting down, so I don't really get a nice overview of it, but I'm hoping it's looking good on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is wonderful to make for your loved one. Everybody gets a dozen roses from their boyfriends for special occasions and whatnot. Why not try making one of these? You could see how simple it is. It truly is very easy. Imagine if you're going to prom and you're the only girl that's walking around with a huge flower instead of a typical corsage. Guys, you can do this. It's just hearts and glue. I really challenge everybody to try and make one. It doesn't have to be this huge. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I didn't give any measurements per se, because you could make this as small or as big as you want. I just showed you the concept and the idea of how to make it. Okay, let me pull this away for a second so I can put it down and see what I'm doing. Okay, so here this is my new petal down here. I just pulled it away from the camera so that I could see my placement. Imagine if you're a daddy and you have a little girl and you're going on a daddy little girl date, or if you don't live with your little girl, you're a single dad, and you just want to have a perfect little date with your girl, or a teenager, whatever age you are. You're daddy and you have a little girl. They're always little. That's what I always say. I'm pulling away again so I could start seeing my shape come along. Again, this is my petal, and I overlapped it. I don't know, I guess I like the illusion of those special keepsake moments, those memories you make, especially when you make something yourself. They're priceless. I was recalling watching a commercial about a daddy. If you see me pull it away from the camera, it's not because I'm being rude. I just want to take a look at it from my head. Recall seeing a commercial of a dad who has his daughter, and he always makes her these little origami birds. And when she goes off to college, they're unloading the car and a box falls to the floor and it's full of all of the little origami birds that he's made her throughout her whole life. So even if it's paper, it can be priceless. It's the memories you make. Alright, I'm taking it off again from the camera for a second so I can look. Alrighty, I'm back. Now as you go further along, you do add a little bit more glue because you want that structure and that support. Now as I am going now, getting bigger, I am bringing my petals up a little higher, but you can see here it's only by maybe an inch because I now want my petals to start opening up and creating that wider effect. Okay, I just added my next petal. So these flowers, they are huge again. And you think, what am I going to do with them? Well, if you have the top of a bureau or of a shelf, you could lay these on the top. Hang it from a curtain valance. A place where it's not really going to get crushed, but yet it's going to be visible from a distance. Alright, I'm just moving it away again, just seeing how my petals are falling. I guess you can call me a sap when it comes to romance. I'm the romance channel kind of girl. I love a love story. I love the feeling that it gives you. Okay, I'm pulling it away again. This one I didn't like where I put it, so I'm going to gently pull it away and just move it over. I did by accident because I didn't see it well. See, I just loosened it on the bottom, so I'm just going to move it around like this. I placed it right over the other one, so it was like two petals on top of each other. It ripped here, but that's perfectly fine, being that it's going to get covered up anyway. Nobody will ever see the center down there. But I did it before my glue set up. So this here, I can always throw another petal over it. You'll never see that I made a mistake there. And like I always say, nothing on earth is perfect, only one thing, and that's God. Alright, I'm pulling it away just because I don't want to make a mistake again. So this is my petal, and I'm trying to overlap this one here. Whoops, now we're getting really big, which is fun. Okay. Just making sure. glue stick here. I have a huge glue gun upstairs, but I figured I don't want to take up in the little space that I have in front of the camera. So the little ones work just as good. Alrighty, I'm going to pull away for a second again and see if this is a good placement here. That's a good one there. And as you can see, I'm going up higher again. This is all going to get covered up anyway. I'm going to be creating a calyx, which I've done for my smaller flowers without any wire support in it, but for the bigger one I want to create it with a wire form in it so it doesn't droop. I will show you how this one is really droopy. I'm not crazy about it doing that, especially if you're making something special like this. Alright, 2 more leaves, petals, sorry, thinking about leaves already. Let me pull this away and look at it. Alright, I readjusted it a little bit. You can keep making more petals if you'd like. You can make this as big as you like. I did 15. I cannot fit anything else in front of the camera so you could see, and as it is, it's huge. Can't wait to take pictures later on and show you how pretty it looks. I wish I had one of my brides that I used to do at the salon to hold this for me. Alright, I'm taking it away, and this is our last one. I'm going to just check again. I really encourage girls out there to try and do this for their wedding. If it's a spring wedding, when you're going out, especially now, because spring is coming along in about 8 days here. Today's date is, let me see, today's March 13. Spring is just around the corner. And I know that there are a lot of brides out there getting ready for their weddings. Okay, so here we have it. I'm going to see if I can turn it up a little bit so you can see. There you go. And you can see how big it is next to my hands. I'm going to put this one next to it so you can get an idea. Let's see if I can get this in the camera. I think that's just beautiful. Look at that. What girl wouldn't like that? Make this for Mother's Day, grandmas, special aunties, special teacher, someone special to you. Alright, I'm just coming in here and just pushing a little bit because I want to come in and start creating the calyx. Just want to cinch it in because I don't want it to be too fat down here. I think I'll just take a little bit more of my hot glue. I mean, not hot glue, sorry. Let's just get rid of the hot glue. And just wrap a little bit around the bottom just to hold everything, give me more support. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just know what my particular one is asking me to do. I'm just spinning and pulling my tape. Kind of cleans up all the bottom, which I was going to do anyway. Alright, now I'm going to put that off to the side. And we're going to work on the calyx. I'm spreading out my petals off camera, as you could see before. Just spreading it out to make it look bigger. This is fun. Alright, I'm putting it again to the side. And we're going to start creating our calyx. Let me see if I can put this off the side here. Now we're going to be using our green crepe paper. I'm going to cut it double. I'm going to cut randomly, because this, you can just rip it apart, whatever you don't want. I'm just going to cut a little piece off. I'll bring that off to the side for a second. Now, this is just, I don't have anything to measure with. Maybe the span of a hand. Who knows? Whatever you want to do. Right now I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in half. Because remember I said I'd like to make my calyx with a little bit of wire in between it, so it doesn't flop around and it gives it a little bit more support. So this is the easiest part. Now that I folded it in half, I'm just going to fold it again in half. So now we have quarters. And I'll fold it again. Any way you want to do it. What I'd like to do is, I'm going to bring mine off center. Oh well, let me just open it. So let's leave it at quarters. You're just going to start making little points. See where we're going here? That's it. I probably won't use all of it. See, it's not perfect points. Mine might be a little too big, but guess what? It's okay. It's not the perfect shape. It's okay. You're the boss. You're the creator. This was the folded side, so I only did like half of it. And here you go. Now I will take my floral wire and I'm going to glue it into the centers. You don't need a lot of the wire hanging from the bottom. I don't know which is better. Maybe I just put the hot glue onto the wire. All of this wire is going to be covered up. And again, like I said, I might not use the whole thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute and I'm going to finish cutting my wires and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, I'm back. I've glued all of my wires. I didn't do the last one because that was the whole wire. I didn't want to bother cutting another one up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, flip it over, and I'm going to glue these two pieces together again. So I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue down the center again. And I don't mind the hot glue because it gives it a veiny effect. And if I didn't mention before when we were cutting out the calyx, keep your grain of your crepe paper going down in the same direction as you did with the petals. So I will continue to glue these together in the same fashion you see here. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, I finished gluing everything together. I didn't bother with the last one, of course. So I want to make my calyx a little bit more special. So I'm just going to come in and just do a few little V cuts into the side, which makes it look more natural. If you've ever looked at roses, you'll notice that they do have these little shapes on the petals, the leaves. Oh, there you go, confusing everything again. So I'm gonna do this to a few of them just to make them look a little bit more realistic, and then I'll be right back and show you. Okay guys, I'm back. I've taken the liberty of cutting little edges, I don't know what they're called, onto my calyx petals. So I will do the last one for you. You do not have to do this for your petals at all. I'm just doing it because I want to, and like I said, you have creative freedom of how you want to create yours, and since this is all gonna be your original designs, you create it the way you like. Going to be creating the leaves next, and I'll be showing you how to do that. We'll be using the same technique we just did here, except they're just going to be the leaves. Now, I have no green thumb whatsoever. I know nothing about the anatomy of flowers, so please don't scold me if I said things wrong. If you come to my house, everything is silk because I cannot keep anything alive. All right, I'm going to grab my big rose again. Let me just stretch this a little bit here. It got loose on me. So you really do have to stretch it for it to stick onto itself. I find that this petal is being a little floppy, so I'm going to give it a little bit more support. A little dab of glue. Now my calyx, if you're going to do it this way without the wire, which is perfectly what you should do for the smaller ones like I did for mine, there is no wire here. Alright, what you're going to do is you're going to take your calyx and you're going to bring it under the rose, and you're just going to wrap it around like that. I think for me personally, I want to separate mine. I might be making a mistake, maybe not. We'll see. I don't know if I'll use them all. It depends on how it looks. I have not separated them in the past. This one I'll keep together. So I'm just going to stick it here on the base, bring the wires together, and then I'll go around. I will be putting tape on this, so it really doesn't matter. The floral tape, I think I'll just tack them on so they don't move out of position. When you're creating, you do what you like. There's no rhyme, no reason. Just as long as you get the end results that you're looking for. I do what I do because I like creating, not because I am an artist or master of anything. As I say, I'm a jack of all trades. I'll do a little of this and a little of that. And I hope if you're like me that you just try it. I am going in between the layers here since they are double, and I did cut it apart so it doesn't have the same structural support. So yes, do take creative liberties with your designs. This reminds me of the Oscars of 2014. where they had this huge rose carpet come down from the ceiling behind the actors, which I started drooling for because it is gorgeous. So I didn't use them all, which is okay. So now what I'd like to do is take some of my floral tape. Well, maybe I'll just take a little, nah, I'll just use my floral tape. See, creative liberties. I'm gonna just dab a dab of glue because I don't want this to slip on me when I start pulling on it. So now I'm taking this here, oops, pull too hard. No problem. Just gonna go around the bottom. And you're gonna start wrapping again, hiding all your pieces. Yeah, we'll stick one more in here. See? Creative liberties. Just going around, securing it. And we're almost done, actually. And the last thing that we'll be doing is creating the leaves. And I want to create them kind of like how nature creates them, like 3, 4, 5 leaves to a branch. You can create more than one. I'll be only creating one for my design. Here you can see we've hidden all of our little mechanics, our wires. And here you have the bottom. Let's see, can you see? And just another one. So now I can manipulate these like the real ones. Come on, nature. It'll hold its shape nicely for me instead of just straight out. I think that is too cute. See? Alrighty, again, I'll move this over to the side and we'll get started on making the leaves. So, the scrap from the original design, I'm just going to show you what to do here. Take and I'm using what was left over, so whatever size petal you want. I will make it a little wider on the bottom. Flip it over. And that's that. Quick and easy. Any shape you want. This one here has more little shape to it. These here, as you can see, they're just a plain teardrop. You could do that or do this. It's just a little off, which is the way I wanted it because again I'm going to be creating, oh, here's a good example of what I was saying before. I'm going to be creating 3 leaves to 1 branch and attach it to the bottom of the stem. So here again, I have some scrap from before. So I will fold it again in half. We're eyeballing it for a minute. That'll be fine. I'm gonna fold it. Then I'll be cutting out these. So too wide. So I'm accordion pleating it just so that I can get 3. This is a project that does take a little time, but you'll love the end results. I think anything beautiful takes time, especially if it's hand designed. Get rid of that scrap. Pull out another floral wire. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this in the center, cutting maybe double the length of the petal, or 1.5, something like that, because we're going to be attaching it to a longer wire. So I'll cut these, I'll start gluing it, and I'll save the last one so I can show you how I did it. Hey guys, I'm back. I've taken these 2 already and I've glued them. I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay. I center them. Take a little bit of hot glue. Insert my wire almost to the top. Fold it over, keeping my wire in the center. I'll continue to the center of the top. I'm making sure again the wire is in the center. And I close it up. Now that I have these 3, I've taken another long wire. I've taken it and folded it into thirds, so I have 3 wires together here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to start using my floral tape. Now, if you can't find any of these supplies at your local craft store, I suggest you go online. I've actually gone to an online store. It's wholesale. If you're a retailer or if you have a business. It's in New Jersey. I think it's called C&D. And if you have a license, you could buy all these supplies there in bulk. Alright, so I'm starting to wrap my floral wire with the floral tape. I don't have to go all the way down since it's all going to be covered in the with the bigger one. You see this is wider. I like to pinch it. and start wrapping it again. Getting it started sometimes could be a little tricky. It's pretty quick. And I just pull it off. I don't cut it. Pinch it again. This one goes really easy. It's quick. Excellent. So now this is the 3 wires, which I'm going to take and start wrapping with the floral tape. I'm right-handed, so I like to hold the tape in my left and just turn with the right. And again, we don't have to go all the way because we will be attaching this to the we'll be attaching it to the actual stem. So I'm going to attach this here, the first one. We're just going to do the same process. I'm not going down all the way because now I'm going to come in and attach another one, leaving maybe an inch in between. Again, you're the creator. You can always look up at a rose, see how nature makes them. Since this is my fantasy rose, I like this. I'm not going down to the bottom again. See? The next one, I'm going to come down just a little bit more. And we'll start wrapping that one. Now I will wrap down a little bit more. This is the effect I'm looking for. I'll grab now the big rose and we'll stick it maybe like right there. Maybe I should have made bigger leaves. I didn't realize. Alrighty. So now with our floral tape, we're going to come in and we're going to start wrapping this to the main stem of the rose. And we'll continue all the way down to cover all the wire. Alright, so that's how we're going to leave it for now. So I'll just flip this around for you to see. That's the bottom. Here's the side. And here you have the lovely rose. I cannot fit it all into the camera lens because it is so big, but I will take pictures for you. I hope this video has been helpful, informative, and inspires you to create some of your own beautiful roses where you can have a fantasy bouquet. Go outside in the beautiful spring when flowers and everything is green around you and take beautiful pictures, and that you share this video with your friends. Let's see, I'm just throwing another one here. Share the video with your friends. Leave me questions and comments. And again, I know nothing about flowers, only how to make fake ones out of paper. So if I've said anything wrong in describing anything, forgive me. So please rate this video and have a wonderful spring. Thank you.